Hello children, let us start with a new chapter. Chapter number 5, minerals. We use different things in our daily life made from metal. There are so many things around us which we use in our daily life for our daily work which are made up of metals. Now, the earth's crust is made up of different minerals embedded in the rocks. Inside the earth, there are numerous minerals which are present in the form of rocks. Various metals are extracted from these minerals after proper refinement. When these minerals are taken to industries, proper metals are extracted from these minerals over there. And these metals are an important part of our life because starting from a small pin to a very big building or a very big ship, all the things are made up of minerals. Even the railway lines, the roads, the tools and the machinery which we are using, all these are made up of minerals. Cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes, all are manufactured from minerals and they run on power resources which are again derived from minerals. Even the food we eat, it also contains minerals, and the plants absorb these minerals from the soil. As I told you in the beginning, that the minerals are present inside the earth's crust. Human beings, we have used minerals for various things, starting from our daily life to decoration, even in the festivities, during our religious ceremonies. All the time we need one or the other mineral, as these minerals are an important part and they play an indispensable role in our life. Now, mineral and ore. What are minerals? These are the natural materials in which the metals or their compounds are found in the earth. All the natural materials which contain metals as well as their compounds present inside the earth are called minerals. All the minerals cannot be used to extract metals because number one, they may contain some impurities, some dirt may be present inside them to large extent. That is why we cannot use those minerals to extract metals. Or the other reason is that that particular mineral might contain very small percentage of the metal. So all the minerals cannot be used to extract the particular metal. Like if we have 5 minerals of a particular metal, then from all those 5 minerals I cannot extract the metal. Maybe from 1 or 2 it is possible that easily and profitably I am able to extract the metal. Now those minerals from which metals can be extracted easily, conveniently and profitably, such minerals are called ores. Okay, and ore is a good mineral which contain a high percentage of the metal and does not contain any undesirable dirt or impurities. So from here we conclude that all the minerals are not ores, but all the ores are minerals. Next we have the type of minerals. Minerals are of two types, metallic and non-metallic. The metallic minerals are those from which we obtain metals like iron, gold, copper, silver. All these metals can be extracted from the metallic minerals. Again, metallic minerals are of two types, ferrous and non-ferrous minerals. Ferrous minerals always contain iron ore or manganese and chromites. Okay, these are the different type of metals. And non-ferrous mineral are those which do not contain iron but might be containing some other type of metal like gold, silver or copper. So from the word ferrous it is clear that if any mineral contains iron, that mineral is called a ferrous mineral. Second type of minerals that is non-metallic minerals. These do not contain metals. From the name only it is clear, the non-metallic minerals do not contain metals. They are coal, mica, sulfur, potash, petroleum. All these are some important non-metallic minerals. Okay, now we have the difference between metallic and non-metallic. How to differentiate? The metallic minerals, they always contain some metallic elements, while the non-metallic minerals contain non-metallic elements. Second, the metallic minerals are present in a special type of rocks called igneous or metamorphic, whereas the non-metallic are found in the sedimentary rocks. The metallic minerals are ductile and malleable. That means we can form sheets or wires from these minerals, whereas the non-metallic minerals are non-ductile and non-malleable. Metallic minerals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Electricity and heat passes through them very easily, whereas opposite happens in the case of non-metallic minerals. Examples you can see clearly: iron ore, bauxite, gold, all these are metallic, whereas coal, sulfur, petroleum, these are non-metallic. Now next topic we have energy resources or minerals. Now as we are living in this world of development and this modern era, the lifestyle of everybody has changed. We are more industrialized today. We live a very comfortable life because there are so many appliances which help us to gain this comfort. Like if I say, for covering short distances, we use our bikes, we use the automobiles, and these automobiles run on a special type of energy resource, or we can say that for using these automobiles we need to supply some regular energy to them, and these energy needs can only be fulfilled with the help of certain energy resources. Like if we are using refrigerator at home, or we are using air conditioner at home, constant supply of electricity is needed. Now from where does that electricity come? How have we generated it? It has been generated from some energy resources, and dependent upon this, energy resources are of two types: non-conventional and conventional energy resources. Non-conventional are called renewable energy resources also, and these can be used again and again. From the name renewable it is clear. Renewable means the thing which can be renewed in a short period of time and easily it is available to us. For example, water, solar, wind and tidal energy, all these are the renewable or non-conventional sources of energy. On the other hand, if we talk about non-renewable sources or conventional sources, these are such energy resources which once used cannot be replaced in a short period of time. Like their renewal needs a lot of time, a long time period, and once used they cannot be gained easily. It will take thousands of years for their renewal. For example, coal, mineral oil, natural gas, etc. These are some of the non-renewable resources of energy or conventional resources of energy. One basic thing about these two energy resources is that the non-conventional, the first one which we did, that is renewable, these are inexpensive and are considered as gift of nature. Also, they do not cause any type of environmental pollution, whereas the other one, that is the non-renewable energy resource, it is quite costly as well as it puts a great pressure on the environment. That is, it causes large environmental pollution. Now the next topic which we have is the types of the conventional energy resources. Number one is the coal. Now let us see how is coal formed. The remains of plants and animals which are buried under the earth for millions of years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. Now, what are fossil fuels? The plants and animals which survived on the earth millions of years ago. After their death, they were buried inside the earth's crust, and as the time passed, they were covered with layers of soil, and slowly and steadily they moved inside the earth's crust. And because of the heat and the pressure which was generated due to this reason, the dead bodies of those plants and animals got converted into a new thing, that is fossil fuel. What are the different examples of fossil fuels? It is coal, petroleum and natural gas, which is obtained from inside, under, beneath the earth. Okay, and all these are the conventional energy resources, or these are the non-renewable energy resources. And you can very well notice that their formation takes a long period of time. It takes a long time to form such type of energy resources. Coal is the most important source of energy, we know very well. You know, it's used as a domestic fuel. People burn coal to for cooking purpose. It is used as a domestic fuel. Then it is used in industries as such as iron and steel industry. It was used in the steam engines as a raw material. The trains which were operated with steam, such trains used coal for the production of heat. And it is also used to generate electricity. Now also there are so many thermal power stations where coal is used to produce electricity. Then coal can also be treated to yield both gaseous and liquid fuels, and it is source of variety of manufactured chemicals. So many chemicals which are used in the industries or factories are manufactured from coal. The use of coal energy is discouraged. Why is it discouraged? It's not important that if it is a very good and helpful source. On the other hand, coal is not so much environment friendly. It produces a lot of gaseous pollutants. It produces solid pollutants also. After when it is burnt, the ashes left are solid pollutants, and during burning, smoke is liberated which pollutes the environment to great extent. Burning of coal releases carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide and other harmful gases which lead to smoke, acid rain and toxic air pollution. So the burning of coal is very harmful. It causes air pollution, and the gases which are liberated during this burning, all those gases lead to formation of smog during the winter season. Then the acid rain is caused, and the air pollution which is observed nowadays in the industrial areas or in the metropolitan cities is turning out to be detrimental for the health of common man. Now let us see where is coal available in the world. China, United States of America, Russia, Ukraine and India are some of the major producers of coal in the world. Very important. These countries are the major producers, or we can say these countries have large coal deposits. Most of the coal mines of the world are in the northern hemisphere. USA is the largest producer of coal in the world. So many coal mines are present in USA, which makes USA a largest producing country of coal. Distribution of coal in India. Now let us see in India where is coal available. Bihar, Bengal, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. All these states are the major producers of coal in India. Raniganj in Bengal, Jharia, Bokaro in Jharkhand, Korba in Chhattisgarh, Neyveli in Tamil Nadu. These are the main coal mines of India. India produces coal at these places. These places contain various coal deposits from where coal is extracted, even used in the country itself as well as exported to the other countries. So like coal, the other thing which is obtained from the earth's crust, that is a non-renewable resource, that is the mineral oil. Mineral oil is also very important. It plays a great role in our daily life. The word petroleum has been derived from two Latin words, petra, which means rock, and oleum, which means oil. So the word petroleum is made up of two words, that is petra and oleum. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. That means petroleum is also called rock oil or the oil which is liberated, produced from the rocks. Due to its usefulness in the world, it is also called liquid gold. Now, because petroleum is the basic necessity everywhere, even if we talk about our daily lives, we use petroleum in our automobiles. Our automobiles vehicles run on petroleum only. Then the machines in the factories and industries also depend upon energy, that is petroleum. So because of its vast and varied use, petroleum is called a liquid gold. It has multiplicity of uses like domestic fuel, lubricant, and for manufacturing many products. So there are so many things which are manufactured from petroleum. If I say, even the gels, the wax, and the petroleum creams, the jellies which we are using during the winter season, all these are made up of petroleum. About 70% of the total power production in the world is derived from mineral oil. I have told you that the machineries are operated, the automobiles are operated from petroleum. That means mineral oil is serving about 70% of the total power production. It is being used by automobiles, aircrafts, industries, railways. It is also used in manufacturing of chemicals, fertilizers, and insecticides. So, petroleum has a vast and great use not only in the case of power production but also in the manufacture of chemicals. So many fertilizers and insecticides are also manufactured with the help of petroleum. Now, where is mineral oil found in the world? The Middle East countries like Iraq, you know very well, जो Middle East countries हैं, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain. All these are the oil producing nations of the world. USA, Russia, Ukraine are the other important oil producers. Basically, more oil is liberated in the Middle East region. Then in India, where is mineral oil found? Assam, Gujarat, and Maharashtra are the leading producers of mineral oil in India. Mumbai High, which is in Maharashtra, it is in ocean in the Arabian Sea, and Digboy, Rudrasagar, all these are present in Assam. Ankleshwar, Koili, and Kalol, all these are present in Gujarat. These are the major oil fields of India. So, India is producing the mineral oil from these regions, basically Assam, Maharashtra, and Gujarat.